There's a lot going on in Amsterdam Noord. There's culture, tourism, dining, entertainment, innovation, museums, green spaces, and in the Overhoeks neighborhood, lots of housing. There's housing with new bike paths, new gardens, new courtyards you can bike through, and other new courtyards that you can't. There are fancy new names and designs. There are fences to keep you out of construction sites and gardens. Every new building has a unique, modern style that blends together to create a vibrant urban fabric.
It blends together so well that you almost forget to look at the seams. If we look just beyond Buiksloter Canal and go back 100 years, we can see a completely different side of Amsterdam. Tuindorp Buiksloterham was a publicly let housing development built in Amsterdam Noord in the 1920s. The city itself constructed half of the housing in the area and funded the rest through grants and subsidies. This garden village was one of the many public housing developments constructed by the city government to provide high quality housing and green space for workers and their families. Amsterdam Noord, with its ample land for redevelopment, was a cornerstone of a citywide effort to counter the overcrowded, dilapidated slum neighborhoods which threatened public health and community well-being. Led by progressive alderman Floor Wieboud and the Municipal Housing Service, the city oversaw the construction of thousands of high-quality housing units for the poor, which earned Amsterdam the title of the Mecca of public housing. So, the development process for the Overhoeks neighborhood must have been similar, right? In fact, it couldn't have been more different. The land this neighborhood now stands on originally belonged to Shell. In 2005, it was sold to the city, which then sold it to ING Bank for redevelopment. Construction began in 2007 but slowed up to a halt in 2011 at the height of the global financial crisis as investment money dried up. Things turned around at the end of the recession, and corporations such as Amvest, Almere and others resumed construction. The city played a role in coordinating stakeholders and tendering new bids for development, but overall was much less active in development. So, what happened in 100 years? Amsterdam, and many other cities like it, dramatically altered their municipal operations in the wake of austerity measures that shrunk public budgets and operational capacity. Instead of being able to fund housing construction itself, the city shifted towards enabling entrepreneurial private sector development, adapting a more flexible planning approach which favors open-ended, incremental, and co-produced urbanism. The city tries to minimize risk for developers in two ways: localizing development to the plot level and reducing turnover times. This made development easier for private sector and more lucrative in the short term. We can see this in Overhoeks, where development occurred at the plot level by corporations and the landscape is fragmented between different actors, even including self-built plots for citizens. However, minimizing risk just shifted the burden to the public, which still provides the infrastructure and amenities that make development possible, all the while earning less and less revenue as land values are captured by the private sector. The city is continuing down this path of fragmentation, extending plot by plot development to the north and Buiksloterham, further dividing control of the land into even smaller piecemeals, controlled by mushrooming corporate conglomerates and savvy citizens. What this future holds is uncertain. Perhaps the city will become bankrupt or beholden to corporate developers. The past, on the other hand, may hold the key to an alternative path where housing is not an asset for corporations, but rather a right for people.